What's real now? I keep on asking myself this question over and over again. Let's look at a definition. Reality is the world or the state of things as they actually exist, as opposed to an idealistic or notional idea of them. But how can we know what's real and how things actually exist as they are when the war on information spreads like a wildfire, averaging at 1.145 trillion megabits per day? Social media today is the major role of how things pretend to exist. We compare ourselves to all the creators on Instagram and TikTok, and we take that as a measurement for happiness, success, and health. When we Google something, we are shown both sides of the same coin. A good example of this is the search term, "Why is meat bad for you?" with "Why is meat good for you?" On both search results, you will find valid information and research-based posts. This confuses the so-called reality, and every single person has a hard time pulling the strings to one side or the other. This confusion separates people in groups. From a diet standpoint, we have vegans, carnivores, pescatarians, vegetarians, flexitarians, fruitarians, and so on and so on. From a political standpoint, we have democracies, monarchies, and authoritarian or totalitarian regimes. If we go deeper, we have introverts, extroverts, ambiverts, and the list can narrow down on and on. Here's an example. If I have a lunch with someone and I eat meat while they eat a salad, we have two opposing groups. Both of them can start arguing as to why their diet is better, and they'll both have valid arguments. They can solve the problem by accepting that they both live in different realities and find a common ground. Or the more universal way, they can stand up, never meet again, and find their own community of carnivores and vegans. Now we live in the age of information. Every bit of data shared on the network is consumed by the people in separate groups that make up their reality. The algorithms work in a way that if you mostly engage with vegan posts, influencers, and search terms, the social networks will show you relevant content to your interest. This is because way too many data is posted on the web. And in order to filter out what you like, social networks switch from chronological feed to algorithm-based feed to keep you active more and more. And here lies the biggest profit for the corporations. From ads, trends, and commercials, humanity is fed with the opinion of others in obvious or subtle ways. As much as we would like to believe that we create our own reality, a big portion of what we call reality is made up, whether we take it consciously or subconsciously. From style to diet, we are riding the trends like waves. The things we never thought we would wear, now we wear with pride. The more information we are fed, the less control we have over the truth we call reality. With this being said, we have thousands of groups separated and spread all over the world. They have no way of finding common ground in their own realities. Nowadays, there is no more reality, but the reality we create ourselves, which is still majorly impacted by the corporations. In the midst of democracy, there is a way to create an amazing life, which will be still impacted by the corporations, but up to a certain point, we can create an astounding reality. Here are a few rules I'd like to keep to myself that help me create strong but flexible reality to different opinions. The first rule is quarantine diet. From personal experience, I can assure you that to create the best reality for you, you have to put yourself in quarantine before it's necessary. No pun intended. We are a mix of experiences, information, and from the people around us. If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. To break this loop, I went on a strict quarantine diet. No friends, information, and no to the same dull conversation all over again. I sat home for 12 hours a day working on myself and my business. Because I was too broke back then, I had to walk 5 miles a day to my grandmother's, eat lunch, and get back home to work. There were no distractions of any sort because people were not even calling me anymore. They knew I wasn't going out ever, and they excluded me from every group chat. It was a tough period of recalibration, but I had one clear goal: create a person out of myself or settle for mediocrity and average. The point of the quarantine diet is to build a base, create habits, discipline, and take a huge step of becoming a better person for yourself. In this period of recalibration, I started exercising frequently, meditation, better diet, breathing 1 hour a day took stone cold showers, and wrote down a to-do list on a daily basis. If I didn't complete the to-do list, some days I stayed up to 1 or 2 a.m. if need be. Try to spot your weaknesses and eliminate them as much as you can. They are the ones who protest the readjustment. Once you build a base and get that feeling of small victory and win on a daily basis, you will get addicted to this life. It's like smoking cigarettes. The only small and tiny difference is that this is actually healthy and beneficial for you. By the way, I don't smoke. And last thing to note, this life doesn't have to last forever. It's okay to get back to your friends and to the world out there, but do that once you build the pillars of the base. And pay attention to what you allow in your life from that point in terms of information and people, because it's so easy to drift away and so hard to get back on track. You'll start to notice that many of the people you used to hang out with are not a good fit for you anymore. Rule number 2 is limited following and information. To me, social media is a tool for growth and business. I've noticed that when I'm on vacation or when I take a day off, I rarely check the apps, and I'm feeling guilty sometimes because I think I'm not taking care of my business and that I'm missing something out. When I scroll on social media trying to find something to repost for one of my big Instagram pages, I wander off and I find myself looking at some tropical destinations or cute dog videos. When I finally notice in about a few minutes, I remember the goal. Find something to repost and get back to the next task. The first thing that you should do is check your following. If any of those accounts or creators is not giving you any real life value, unfollow them immediately. When you allow every information to be shown on your feed, you have no control over your reality. There's a saying that if you keep on telling a lie big enough and keep on repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it. So for example, if you keep on seeing that junk food is good for you, over time you will accept it as your reality without even second guessing it. The point is to remove every social account that is not giving you any real life value. By using social media for years, we have huge lists of people that we follow, meme pages, travel accounts, girls, and whatnot. All of this has to go away if you want to create your own reality. So the second step is to create your own social media circle to your own needs, not wants. You may want to watch cute cats and dog videos for days, but that's not a need. And last thing to note, for example, if you're a vegan and follow 20 vegan creators, always follow 1 or 2 carnivore creators. This way you open your mind to different opinions, because remember that not all people have your opinion. And if you want to live in a coexistent life, you have to take into account the views of your fellow human beings. The third and the last rule, discover your reality and live it. When you take a step back from the person you used to be and create a new way of living, guided by beneficial habits and discipline, you will discover a world that you never thought existed. All of this was right next to you. You just had different perception. That's why so many of us miss the so-called golden opportunities. It's because we are not on the same frequency when they're emitted. Imagine that you are on a very boring TV program, and now you switch to one that shows the best movies 24/7. Paradise was one click away, but you never bothered to search the remote. The world you live in now will have different opportunities and different people. And life has a funny way of putting people in your way that are supposed to be in your life and stay. Also, there will be people who will deny the new you. But if you did it right, your pillars should be strong enough to deny these people in your reality. In my experience, this is a rule we should constantly upgrade. If we stay stuck on one reality, it means that we are not growing. But if we change them frequently, it means that we haven't found our base. So it takes a bit of time to find the balance between these two. For example, you may be a carnivore for a certain period of time, but as you switch to a new reality, you maybe want to become a vegan or vice versa. This change alone will require of you to go to new markets to shop, maybe new restaurants to eat, and it will even require of you to meet new people who will fit that profile. So it doesn't have to be set in stone that you will identify yourself as one thing and never change. The world can be complex to create a reality that is beneficial for you, because advertising giants are spending millions of dollars as you watch this to take your attention away. And there is a low chance to avoid this. You have to quit social media, delete all your social accounts, And even then, when you go out, you will see a couple of billboards. The key lies in limiting yourself to the bazillion of data shared online. And this may not be the only problem. Maybe your social circle is creating futile reality. These are your friends, family, partners, and even colleagues. All that you allow in your life is carving you into the person that you are. I wasn't really aware of this until I left my social circle and saw how many things I need to change in order to become responsible, successful, and disciplined human being. The period of recalibration was one of the toughest and the greatest times of my life. Take everything with a grain of salt. Don't just be yes man. The earlier you start with your recalibration, the sooner you will reap the benefits of your new reality. Champs, thank you so much for being with me to the near end. And one more thing, likes are absolutely free. All I ask of you is to tap that like button below so the YouTube algorithm can do this magical thing and show this video to more people. We small-time creators love when you guys like our videos. Of course, if you like them in the first place, so we can get bigger audience and help more people for free. Also, if you like videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any of them in the future. See you in the next video here.